Join Kids Hut family. Did you have a good birthday, Tofu?
Yes, very much.
And look at all the lovely gifts you've got.
Yes.
Why? What's wrong?
Nothing is wrong, but I just thought Grandmom could have got me a better gift than the single rose flower.
Tofu, that's not a nice thing to say. You didn't notice her love for you that made her fly all the way across the country to be with you today.
Love? But that's not a gift.
Maybe you'll think differently once you hear the story of the Snow Queen. The Snow Queen. Once upon a time, in a small village lived two neighbors who were best friends too. Their names were Gerda and Kay. They loved each other a lot. As a symbol of their friendship and love, one day they both planted a rose plant each in their front yards. Every morning, they would get together and water their plants and take care of them. When winters came, Gerda invited Kay.
Why don't you come over in the afternoon? My grandma has promised to make us a cup of hot chocolate and tell us a story.
Okay, Gerda, I will come over after finishing my chores.
As promised, Kay went to Gerda's home in the afternoon.
Tell us the story of the Snow Queen, Grandmama.
Bah, there is no Snow Queen. Do you still believe in such stories? Little did Kay know that the Snow Queen did exist. And she had a magic mirror with which she could look at anybody. And right at that moment, she was looking into Gerda's living room where they sat. Doesn't believe in me, does he? I will send him my ice arrows that will turn him cold. All the love will be gone from his eyes and his heart will freeze over. And the Snow Queen sent her ice arrows towards Kay. As soon as they entered Gerda's home, they went straight for Kay's eyes and heart.
Ouch! My eyes! What's happening? They hurt!
What is wrong, Kay?
Ouch! My heart! It hurts too!
Kay, what's wrong? Are you okay? Suddenly, Kay's whole behavior changed towards Gerda.
Oh, stop being such a wimp, Gerda. Nothing is wrong. Get away from me.
Saying so, he shoved Gerda aside and went home. Over the next few days, he would give cold, mean looks to Gerda and would never talk to her nicely. He wouldn't even come to tend to the roses that they had planted. One morning, when Gerda was watering the plants, she saw Kay get into a carriage with a lady who was wearing a white gown. She had skin like diamonds and her hair was silver white. Gerda immediately knew that it was the Snow Queen. She decided to follow her, but the carrot just vanished into thin air. So she went to her grandmama.
Here, take this hand mirror and follow what it tells you. The mirror only tells you the truth.
Gerda took the mirror from her grandma and looked into it. The mirror told her to find the flower garden. So Gerda went looking for it. Meanwhile, once the Snow Queen reached the palace, she told Kay to make it his home from now on.
This is your home now. You will never leave here. And once your heart freezes over, you will be mine forever.
Back in the village, Gerda found the flower garden and entered it. The garden was full of the most beautiful flowers Gerda had ever seen. She fell in love with them immediately. But there was no smell of the flowers. Surprised, Gerda bent down and touched one of the flowers to understand if they were real. As soon as she touched one flower, the fragrances of all flowers returned and the flower lady appeared in front of her.
Thank you. You have returned the fragrance of my flowers. Who are you? I am the owner of this garden. I am the flower lady. Can you help me? Have you seen my friend Kay pass through here? He has been taken by the Snow Queen. Oh no, the Snow Queen. She is one who had taken away the fragrance of my flowers. I did not see Kay cross from here, but you should try the river outside the village.
Gerda thanked the flower lady and went to the river. There she saw a boat waiting for her. She climbed into the boat and it took her to the pirate ship. Aboard the ship, Gerda saw many pirates, including a girl pirate.
Hello, can you help me? I am looking for my friend Kay. The Snow Queen has taken him.
I don't know any Kay. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you, because once aboard the pirate ship, you can't go anywhere. You have to be here.
No, please, you have to let me go. Kay is my friend. I have to save him.
Friend, you say? Well, I have never had a friend. Okay, I will help you if you promise to be my friend.
Yes, of course. I would love to be your friend.
Okay then. Take my reindeer. He is the fastest reindeer in the world, and she knows where the Snow Queen's palace is. Gerda thanked the pirate girl and climbed on the back of the reindeer. Just as the pirate girl had promised, the reindeer had Gerda outside the Snow Queen's palace in no time. Gerda got off the reindeer and went inside the palace.
Kay? Kay? Are you in here?
What are you doing here?
I am here to take my friend back with me.
Your friend doesn't exist anymore. Look at him, standing there in the corner. Just in a few minutes, his heart will freeze over, and then he will be mine forever.
Gerda turned to see where the Snow Queen had pointed. In the corner stood Kay. His lips were blue and eyes were steely cold. Gerda rushed to him.
Kay, it's me, your friend.
When Kay didn't reply, she reached out for his hand. His old friend's touch returned the color in Kay's eyes. Encouraged by this change, Gerda pushed on.
Remember all the times we had fun at home? And our roses that we have in the front yard.
There is no point in all this. His heart will freeze soon.
Hearing this, Gerda broke down and started crying. As she was crying, her tears rolled down from her eyes and onto the hands of Kay. As soon as that happened, Kay looked up at Gerda and smiled.
Gerda, my friend, you came for me.
This is impossible. Nothing can ever turn my curse over.
She tried to pull Gerda away from Kay. And that's when Grandma's mirror fell out of Gerda's pocket. When the Queen looked into it, it spoke to her.
Snow Queen, you have been mistaken. There is one power stronger than your curse, and it is the power of love.
Hearing this truth, the Snow Queen started crying and soon dissolved in a pool of her own tears.
Oh, now I feel so terrible, Tia. I think I have not been fair to Grandmom.
Well, you still have time to make things better, Tofu.
Yeah, you are right, Tia. I will go to her and apologize right away.
Don't forget to give her a kiss and a big hug.
You know, my friend John stays with his cousins. Yesterday, he came late to the class and the teacher scolded him a lot. John said his cousin brothers made him finish their course before they let him leave for school. He said they always trouble him and make him do a lot of housework.
Oh no, he must feel really bad.
John is a very nice boy. He doesn't disobey anyone. He's very nice to his cousin brothers despite the way they treat him.
That is very nice of him. We should always forgive people for their mistakes. Have you heard the story of Cinderella? Once upon a time, there lived a young girl called Cinderella. Cinderella's mother had died, and so her father had married another woman who had 2 daughters. One day, Cinderella's father went to work and never returned. Cinderella was left at the mercy of her stepmother and 2 stepsisters who made her do all the work of the house. Cinderella, it's morning already. Where is our breakfast?
Just a moment, stepmother. I am just bringing it out.
As soon as Cinderella had laid the breakfast, the stepmother and stepsister started eating it. Cinderella served her own plate too and was about to eat when her stepsister pushed her own plate away. Yuck! I hate it!
Yes, now that you mention it, it really is horrible. Mother, do something.
Cinderella, are you trying to kill us? What kind of food is this?
But stepmother, I have made it the way I always make it.
How dare you argue with me? Go and make new breakfast for us. Don't you dare do anything else till we have had our breakfast. And this is what went on in their house every day. The stepmother and stepsisters troubled Cinderella without any reason. But Cinderella loved them still and never ever complained. One day, an announcement was made in the village.
Let everybody know. There will be a royal ball at the palace tomorrow night, and the king's son, Prince Charming, will marry a maiden from amongst the guests. Everybody from the village is invited.
The whole village was excited. Even Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters couldn't stop talking about it in the house. And that is how Cinderella found out about the ball.
The royal ball! Prince Charming! The whole village is invited. I will finish my work quickly so we can all go together. Won't it be just wonderful?
You! Who said anything about you going? You will stay here and polish our shoes till you can see your face in them.
And so, with a heavy heart, Cinderella saw her stepmother and stepsisters dress up and leave for the royal ball the next day. Once they had left, she cried bitterly. Suddenly, her room lit up, and Cinderella saw the most beautiful fairy she could imagine. She held in her hand a delicate wand.
Who are you?
Get up, child. I am your fairy godmother. I am here to get you to the royal ball.
Really? I never knew I had a fairy godmother. But how will I get to the ball? I don't have anything to wear.
You don't worry about that, my child. And so, in just a few minutes, Cinderella was ready for the royal ball. As she thanked her fairy godmother and got aboard the chariot, she received a word of caution from the fairy godmother. Remember to be back home at 12, otherwise the spell will wear off. Soon Cinderella arrived at the palace. As she entered the great ballroom, everyone turned to look who this beautiful maiden was. Nobody could recognize her. Not even her own stepmother and stepsisters. Prince Charming walked to her.
May I have this dance with you?
Yes, Your Highness.
And so Cinderella and Prince Charming danced together throughout the evening. Till Cinderella heard the clock strike. Fairy godmother's words came back to her. She needed to get out of there before the clock struck 12. Without saying a word, she tore away from the prince's grasp and ran out of the palace. The prince ran after her. "Wait, wait! What is wrong? Why are you running? I don't even know your name." But Cinderella dared not wait or even look back. Her beautiful gown was already turning into rags again. Her hair was coming loose from the perfect bun that the fairy godmother had made for her. She didn't even stop when one of the glass slippers came off her foot and fell in the palace driveway. She ran out of the palace gates and vanished into the darkness on a path that led to her home. Once home, she went back to polishing the shoes that had been given to her and decided never to speak to anyone about the ball. A few days later, 2 men from the palace showed up at their door.
The lady that Prince Charming fell in love with left behind her glass slipper at the royal ball. The prince believes that such a beautiful slipper could fit only his beloved. And so we're asking all the girls in the village to try the slipper. The one whom it fits would be the one the prince will marry. If you have any girls in the house, please ask them to try the slipper. Oh, yes, yes. I am sure it was one of my daughters. The slipper would fit one of them.
And so both the stepsisters tried to fit their foot into the slipper one by one. They pushed and pushed, but couldn't get their foot in.
Looks like it wasn't your daughters after all. Is there any other young lady in the house? No, there isn't. You can leave.
As the king's men made ready to leave, suddenly the door of the house was thrown open. And Prince Charming himself stood there.
Who is this beautiful girl in the upstairs window?
Madam, you have lied to us. I demand that the girl be called forth and try the slipper.
Yes, but she is only a servant girl. Nevertheless, Cinderella, come down here at once.
Yes, stepmother.
The moment Prince Charming saw Cinderella, he knew he had found his beloved. He took the slipper from the king's man and slipped it onto her foot himself. The slipper fit perfectly in a moment. Cinderella was once again transformed into the beautiful maiden from the night of the ball. Prince Charming took her to the palace with him.
He ordered that the stepmother and stepsisters be punished for lying to the king's men and treating Cinderella so badly and rudely.
But being the kind-hearted person that she was, Cinderella asked for them to be forgiven. The prince fell in love with her even more for her generosity, and they lived happily ever after.
Wow, Tia, how wonderful is it to forgive people. Thank you for telling me this story.
I will tell it to John too. I'm sure he will like it. Okay, shall we go home now? I think it's getting late. Bye, Melly. I will call you later. Hey, Tofu, how was your day?
Oh, it was such a fun day, Tia. You know, that new boy who has joined my class, Kate?
Yes. The one whom all the teachers like so much?
Well, not anymore. They don't.
What do you mean, Tofu?
Some of us got together and got her into real trouble with the teachers. The teachers think it was all her fault.
Tofu? That's horrible. How could you?
Relax, Tia. No one will ever know.
I am very disappointed with you, Tofu. But you know what? Evil can never win.
What are you talking about, Tia?
Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. Once upon a time, there lived a king with his wife. Sadly, they had no children. This made the queen very sad. On a winter day, when it was snowing heavily, the queen sat in her garden and prayed with all her heart to have a daughter as beautiful as the winter, fair as snow, and with lips as red as the last red rose that bloomed in the garden. Her prayers were answered a year later when she gave birth to a daughter, just as she wanted. But the childbirth was so difficult for the queen that she died during it, leaving behind the king and their daughter, Snow White. As time passed, the princess started asking for her mother.
Father, where is mother? Why don't I have a mother?
Soon you will have one, my princess.
The word spread in the kingdom that the king had decided to remarry. Families who had daughters of marriageable age started trying to impress the king, but no maiden could win his heart. Till one day, an enchanting woman showed up alone at the palace. The king fell in love with her immediately, and they were married soon.
My queen, this whole palace is yours. It is your own home. Go where you like. Ask for whatever you want.
Thank you, kind king. But all I need is a room to store my mirror that I have brought with me.
Yes, I noticed that all you have brought is that large, round mirror.
I am happy as long as you are happy, dear. Oh, you know what will make me truly happy? What is it? Your death.
The queen was actually an evil witch who had pretended to be nice so that the king would marry her. Her true motive was to have a kingdom of her own. She had only one other desire: to be the fairest woman in the world. Every day, she would stand in front of her mirror, which had magical powers, and ask it the same question.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? It is you, O Queen.
This went on for many years. The queen ruled the kingdom without any real love for its people. The people suffered under her reign, but no one dared say anything because they knew that the queen was a witch. The princess Snowhite also had a similar fate. The queen did not even bother to look at her even once and left her alone and lonely. Till it was Snow White's 16th birthday.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? Snow White. No! How dare you say that? I do not lie, Queen. She must die. She must die. Guard, come in.
One of her most trusted guards came in.
Take Snow White and kill her now.
But my queen, she is just a child.
Do as you are told.
Yes, my queen.
Afraid of the queen's anger, the guard took Snow White deep into the jungle to kill her. But as he raised his sword to kill her, he looked into her blue eyes and lost his courage to strike. He just left her there and ran. Lost, Snow White wandered deeper into the jungle. There, she came across a tiny cottage. She decided to enter it.
Look at this tiny home. I wonder who lives here.
She saw 7 tiny beds. A dining table with 7 small chairs, and a kitchen which had 7 plates and tumblers.
There is 7 of everything here. I think 7 people live here. But why is everything so small and tiny?
Snow White was just looking around when 7 dwarfs entered the house. It was their home.
Who are you?
Oh, hello. I didn't hear you come in. My name is Snow White. I am the princess.
The princess? We saw a royal guard kill a reindeer and pull its heart out. Yes, and he was mumbling to himself that he will tell the queen that he had killed the princess and brought her heart for the queen.
Yes, the queen's guard brought me here. I think he wanted to kill me, but ran away, leaving me alone.
Don't worry, Princess. You can stay here with us. That way, you will be safe.
Oh, thank you so much.
Snow White started staying with the Dwarf brothers. In the day, they would go out into the jungle to hunt and earn money, while Snow White would stay home and cook for them and take care of their house. They all lived happily together.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Snow White. You are lying to me because I didn't visit you since you said this the last time.
I cannot lie when you ask me something.
But Snow White is dead.
Snow White is alive. Your God lied to you.
That God will die, and so will Snow White.
Using her magic, the queen disguised herself as an old woman. She even made the mirror tell her where Snow White lived now. As she entered into the jungle, she saw Snow White filling a jar with water from a stream.
I am very thirsty. Please give me some water.
Yes, yes. Here, please. Have as much as you want.
Thank you, dear girl. Please take this apple as a thank you from me.
The apple looked so beautiful and tempting that Snow White just couldn't say no to it. She took it from the old woman, but she didn't know that the queen had poisoned the apple. As soon as she took one bite of the apple, the poison affected her. She fell down, stopped breathing, and had no heartbeat. The queen became very happy and rejoiced as she made her way back to the castle. But she was too distracted by her joy and fell into quicksand. With no one to help, she sank and died. Meanwhile, the dwarfs came home and saw Snow White lying there dead. They were heartbroken.
Who did that to her? I think the queen found out about her. Look at that black half-eaten apple. I don't want to let go of her. Let us keep her in a glass box.
And so the dwarfs kept her in the glass box in the garden near their home. Every day they would keep a red rose on her box. One day, a young prince came into the forest. There, he saw the 7 dwarfs sitting by Snow White. He got down from his horse and went to see. His eyes fell on Snow White, who was in the box. Who is she? What has happened to her? When the dwarfs had finished telling him everything, the prince was sad too. I am in love with her. I wish I had a chance to meet her once. Now all I want to do is kiss her. And so the prince lifted the lid of the glass box and kissed Snow White. As soon as he kissed her, Snow White opened her eyes. The curse of the poisoned apple had been broken. My princess, you are alive. Your love woke me up, dear prince. Encouraged by the prince's support, Snow White decided to go back to her kingdom and face the queen. When she reached there, she found out that the queen was dead and the kingdom was joyous to have the princess back. Snow White took over the throne with the prince by her side and even invited the dwarfs to come in the castle and stay with them. With her return, the kingdom was joyous once again.
Tia, can you please take me to Kate's house? I have to apologize to her right away. I think I have been evil to her.
Good decision, Tofu. Yes, I will take you there. Come on, let's go.
Thanks, Tia. And I promise, tomorrow I will tell the teachers the truth too. Tia, I think we will take long to reach. Can you please tell me some interesting story?
Why not, Tofu? Let me tell you a story about a princess and a bad fairy. Sleeping Beauty. A long time ago, there lived a king and a queen. They wished for a child for a very long time. After a long wait, their wish came true. A beautiful girl was born to the king and queen. The king announced to his people, "We are blessed with a baby princess, and her name is Sunshine."
Hooray!
Said the people. As the baby girl turned 1, celebrations began all around. A big party had to be planned.
We must invite all the fairies.
Yes, we must call them all. But not the black fairy. She is mean. She is bad. The party was a lot of fun. The baby princess looked lovely. All fairies brought with them some precious gifts and blessed the little princess to be a clever and kind girl. Suddenly, the castle was filled with blue smoke and nobody could see anything. As soon as the blue smoke settled, King and Queen were shocked to see the black fairy. She saw that a beautiful celebration was organized and everyone from the kingdom was invited for the feast, including all fairies. She became very angry for not being invited, and that's why
she cursed the baby princess.
On your 16th birthday, before the sun sets, you'll prick on a spindle and die. She screamed in anger and vanished.
Everybody was shocked. Suddenly, a young fairy who had not yet given her blessings to the little princess said,
I can't take away the black fairy's curse, but I'll definitely try to help. When the princess pricks herself, she won't die. Instead, she'll go into a deep sleep and shall only awaken with a kiss from a prince who loves her.
After this, the king ordered to destroy all spindles and needles from the kingdom. Soon, there were no sharp things in the castle. Except for one, they didn't check in the tower. As years passed by, the baby grew under supervision of fairies and turned out to be a very beautiful young girl. When she turned 16, while roaming in the castle one day, she saw a magical light ball. And followed the light ball. Which took her to the top of the tower in the castle. Inside, there was an old woman bent over a spinning wheel.
Come here. You must try spinning this wheel.
Oh, what is this? Please let me do it as well. I have never tried this.
But the minute she touched the needle of the spindle, she fell to the ground. Black Fairy's curse had come true. Old woman, who was actually the Black Fairy, laughed and laughed and then disappeared. The king, who remembered the words of the last fairy, made her daughter, the princess, to lie in a room for many years to come. Fairies saw the princess sleeping, and everyone thought that she was extremely beautiful. They all said at once,
Sleeping Beauty.
Soon, this name became popular in town, and everyone started to mention Princess as the Sleeping Beauty. The whole kingdom was sad. Fairies noticed this and decided,
Let the whole kingdom fall asleep, so when the princess wakes up by her prince, she wouldn't be alone.
Everyone in the kingdom fell asleep. The king, the queen, the servants, soldiers, everyone in town fell asleep. Even all the animals fell asleep.
Soon, a thick forest grew around the castle and hid it. About hundreds of years later, a handsome prince was riding through the forest. He saw the strange-looking castle. The accompanying soldiers told the prince that this is the castle of the Sleeping Beauty. He had heard stories of Sleeping Beauty and started to explore it. He was surprised to see everybody in the castle sleeping. When he entered more, he saw even the king and queen were sleeping. He looked around and saw one big pink door. He tried to open the door, but it was difficult to open as it was closed for so many years. After trying hard, he managed to open the door, and to his surprise, he found Sleeping Beauty lying on a beautiful bed in that room. The moment he saw her, he just fell in love with her.
I really want to know who this beautiful girl is. She looks so gentle and peaceful, he said.
He leaned down and kissed her. Instantly, the kiss lifted the spell and the princess woke up. The king, queen, and all the people and animals in the kingdom were awake again. The kingdom was full of joy, and there were celebrations all around. The prince and the princess soon got married and lived happily ever after.
Wow! It means no matter if bad people think bad for you, there are always some well-wishers to help you out.
For your favorite rhymes, stories, and more, join Kids Hut family. Subscribe here.